SoCashier.com gives you the best prices for your iPhone, so check them out next time when you're planning to sell your old phone.
I'm Gunnar Larson.
And I'm Jack Yotikis.
This is a World War II Airfield with B-17s, of course. It's the 100th Bomb Group, based off the show Masters of the Air, and they're being repaired and rearmed. So this one, all the pilots have the proper markings on their back for the planes. The ground crew are doing their thing, I suppose. The fuel barrels in the back. All the prints are made by my father, Eric Larson. The Jeeps are designed by me. These guys over here, they are loading ammo into them. The bomb trolleys are, well, rearming. There are guys in the back with the fuel drums, and then the pilots are hanging out over on the right side. The B-17s are designed by Jack, over here.
So obviously the aircraft are all B-17G flying fortresses, which means they have the chin turret on the front of the nose. They're all in all real Lego olive green, which means no other parts besides the printed parts, which are also real Lego. A lot of rare pieces from new and old Lego sets. 1x2 slopes for the sides of the engines that are pretty rare. New wedge slopes from Speed Champions line, I believe. All used with different angles. For the wings, use a lot of hinge plates to get the different angles for the leading edge and the trailing edge overlapped on normal on-grid building, along with hinge bricks on the inside for the dihedral to hold it up with clips, Technic bricks, hinge bricks, and that kind of funny thing.
Were there any difficulties while making all these?
Yes, so obviously, they're all 1/45 scale, which even though it's a big aircraft, there's not actually that much space to work with. The fuselage of the aircraft starts in a 2-wide, so it's an even wide configuration with a bunch of brackets and snot bricks to hold the sides on. As you go back, obviously the tail gets thinner, so you have to transition from a 2-wide center point to a 1-wide center point to be able to have the detail of the sloping fuselage. And that is kind of a weak point, but it manages through Technic bricks and other funny connections to get that sort of jumper design. And then that allows you to also get the vertical stabilizer easier, which was also kind of difficult because not very many of those slopes exist in Olive. So you have to use a couple of them in funny ways. Like the tail of it uses an inverted slope that is then inverted to make it a normal slope. And that part only comes in one set from 2000 something rather, and is however many dollars a piece. So kind of miserable to source, but it's all for the added effect of all real olive B-17, because this is the closest Lego color that is to the olive drab that they painted them in World War II.
Really nice. Now let's go transition to the planes over there.
So here we have a collection of 1/45 scale planes, mostly fighters and among others. Starting from the end, we have a couple of P-51 Mustangs, one of the most famous aircraft of the war. We've got one in the red tails camouflage of Tuskegee Airmen, which is a pretty famous one. That one has the bubble canopy, which is arguably the most iconic one. Uses some of the new curved slopes in Transclear and also some some of those shield parts on the sides to get the shape of the bubble canopy, which added improved visibility in case you're wondering why it's different than the one behind it. Moving on to some of the dark blue ones, which are fun, are the Navy aircraft from World War II in the Pacific Theater. Navy and Marines both use these to fight against the Japanese. The Corsair has an inverted gull wing, which is a fun design to get. It uses a couple of Technic pieces on the inside right into an axle, which keeps it nice and sturdy so it can still hold itself up on the landing gear while also getting the correct angle. Goes down and then back up, and then on the wingtip also folds for carrier deck stowage, which is a fun one for the Navy aircraft. Makes it a unique, easy to transport because you can just fold the wings up. Moving on, right next to it, we've got the Me-262, one of the most famous German planes, being a jet fighter, which was one of the first fielded in World War II. A lot of nations were developing jet fighters, but the Germans were the first to actually put it into mainstream production. It uses some new curved slopes for the nose, lots of funny angles and stuff like that. It's got dihedral, wing sweep, all that fun stuff, dark green, dark bluish gray. Don't know how realistic of a camo that is, but I like it. It was fun. And keep going down the line, we've got the Sopwith Camel, yet another iconic aircraft. This is the one that Snoopy flew. Uses a dark green, sort of like British camouflage from World War I. Biplane, obviously, so it's a lot of fun. Has a dihedral on the bottom of the wing, but not on the top. You can see that from the front. Uses some of the new Technic connectors that I haven't quite acquired in the correct colors yet, but they're there, keeps it nice and sturdy. Fun little guy. And then we've got the British Mosquito in a British sort of like sand blue, dark green camouflage. Sand blue's a little exaggerated of a blue color, but it gives it a nice contrast, better than light bluish gray or dark bluish gray all around.
Really nice. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see these next Brickfair.
No problem. Thank you for having me.